Take you now to the Cape Town City Hall, where we find our reporter, Junior Khumalo, who will preview this all-important SONA. Junior, very good morning to you. We've just heard the assertion and affirmation from parliamentary spokesperson Moloto Mothapo saying it's all systems go insofar as the planning and preparation is going inside and outside the precinct. What's happening there?
Good morning to you, Mpo, and to our viewers. Indeed, the parliamentary spokesperson spoke about how they were ready to host this State of the Nation address by the President. But we also spoke to Ume Thandi Modise, the Defence Minister, who also just spoke about the readiness when it comes to securing the place. But now we are going to speak to the ANC's national spokesperson, Mahlengi Bengo Mutsiri, just to speak to her about this State of the Nation address. Thank you so much for joining us today. The President, as he delivers the State of the Nation address, he has also been sent by his organization, the ANC. We know that there was an ANC Lehotla where the ANC and its alliance partners met and discussed some of the things that they would want to hear from the President. What is the expectation from the ANC?
Service delivery, foremost, top of priority. And what are the things we're going to be doing to accelerate service delivery, various facets, water and sanitation, infrastructure, how we turn around the logistics environment, how we turn around the economy overall, both in terms of systemic and persistent and stubborn structural challenges in relation to ownership patterns in the economy, but also how we make sure that the economy enables us to create employment, to propel entrepreneurship, and all of those things that are related to economic emancipation. We obviously, as the ANC, would expect to also understand what it is that is being done to fight corruption in a society, in the private sector, within the state, and corruption that includes citizens. And we also expect the President to account for measures that have been implemented to fight the demon of corruption. And yesterday, for example, we got a beautiful report from the SIU about what has been recovered through the NSFAS and some of strides that have been made to actually dignify the environment around which access to higher education and student funding is concerned. So it's an area that the ANC is very much committed to as part of its renewal program. And you can't renew society if you don't renew the organization. So we want to demonstrate to South Africans that there is a seriousness about fighting corruption and about making sure that the ANC is the leader of that and is seen to be leading that. And as I stress, that corruption is not an issue that is unique to the state system. There is a lot of corruption in the private sector. We need to be tackling that as well.
This State of the Nation address is not happening in a vacuum. It's happening in a year where the ANC will contest in what is expected to be a hotly contested national and provincial elections. So this administration, I believe today is the opportunity for the President basically to speak about some of the achievements and even the challenges. We know that the economy has been growing by less than 1% every year. We also know that the unemployment rate has been higher than it had been when this administration came into power. What do you think he can say to convince South Africans that the ANC deserves to still be in power after these elections?
Obviously, I would not be in the mind of the President. I don't want to be overly speculative. I can only just communicate the positions and the expectations of the African National Congress as the governing party in South Africa. We do want to say, though, that we do expect the President to really highlight achievements of this ANC-led government, not just over the past 5 years, but over the 30 years, including how resilient we've been in the past 5 years. In the face of COVID, we were ranked highly in the global space in terms of how we handled the COVID experience, both in terms of access to universal health care, which is now a matter that we are ramping up with our campaign on the National Health Insurance Bill, which is being opposed by opposition parties that want to preserve health access privilege for the few as opposed to the majority. So we will expect that the President will speak about how we've opened the doors to access to health care, primary health care, tertiary health care. We do expect the President not to shy away from talking about what it is that we have achieved to enable access to basic education, free basic education, as well as access to higher education, including addressing the challenge of what is known as the missing middle, which is another recent intervention by the Department of Higher Education and, of course, who are the stewards of the work and the policy work of the NSFAS board. So we expect that we mustn't, be too apologetic about talking about how South Africa looked like in 1993 and how South Africa looks like today. The fact that there's somebody that owns a business, the fact that we've got thriving creatives and designers who are going to be dressing members of parliament, for example, young creatives. It only happened under the ANC government. The fact that we've got filmmakers, the fact that we've got Grammy award winners such as Tyler, we cannot shy away from those achievements, and we're being asked not to talk about those things. And we expect the president actually to be bullish about that, and at the same time to be receptive to where there have been misses in the environment. We are concerned that the economy should grow faster so that we can be able to achieve a better life for all, addressing the persistent and stubborn challenges of poverty, unemployment and inequality.
Thank you so much. That is Mahlengi, the spokesperson of the ANC. But just one more individual just to bring into the picture, Minister Gungubele. This is not just a celebration of the country with the president delivering the SONA. We also know that the country is celebrating 30 years of independence. What do you expect the president to speak about in terms of the ANC's achievements over those 30 years?
We expect the president to, of course, lay out the difference that has happened in this country in 30 years in the positive direction. We expect the president to line out of those. At the same time, we expect the president to articulate challenges. You know, he's a president who is open, who is also present his State of Nation address all the time with humility and honesty. But having said that, remember I'm deployed in the digital technology. We expect the president to say something about that, because that is the economy of the future. That is a game changer now, especially connectivity. We have realized how powerful connectivity is, especially to the rural community that are far away from the urban setup of infrastructure. We have witnessed situations where poor communities, because of merely having a gadget, 900 kilometers from Joburg, you are able to interact with Joburg looking for a job. You are able to sell your products in Joburg sitting in Mount Elif. You are able to sell your chicken pieces in the local market at a lower cost in terms of gig. Connectivity has become the most critical thing for South Africans. If I can give you an example, if you look at the people who build informal settlement at the city centers, if you check the list of the things that put them there, they want to be close to the employers to ask for jobs. They want to make sure that they are able to sell their cookies and everything else. Now you can do those things 900 kilometers away because of connectivity. Lastly, we've got kids. After we launched 1,600 houses connected in Kokstad, poor families, they say to me, Tata, we used to walk or take transport to go to library. In those libraries, we're looking for certain literature for assignment. Sometimes we are exposed to danger. Two, we don't get everything we want. But now, because we are connected at a low cost, 5 rand per gig, from 90 rand, we are able at home to use our gadgets, access library, and get all the books we want.
Thank you so much. That is the Minister of Communications, Mr. Mondli Gungubele, just also giving us a bit of what he expects the President to say when he delivers that State of the Nation address later today.
Very well, Junior Khumalo. Let's leave it there for now, as we do continue, of course, to bring some reaction and, of course, just analysis around the expectations around the State of the Nation address.